Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we will be finishing reading the Iliad by Homer, and I will be looking at doing something else for a bit. So let's get going. O guard these relics to your charge consigned, and bear the merits of the dead in mind. How skilled he was in each obliging art, the mildest manners and the gentlest heart. He was, alas, but fate decreed his end, in death a hero, as in life a friend. So parts the chief, from rank to rank he flew, and round on all sides sent his piercing view. As the bold bird, endued with sharpest eye of all that wings the mid-aerial sky, the sacred eagle from his walks above looks down and sees the distant thicket move, then stoops and sousing on the quivering hare, snatches his life amid the clouds of air. Not with less quickness his exerted sight passed this and that way through the ranks of fight, till on the left the chief he sought he found, cheering his men and spreading deaths around. To him the king, beloved of Jove, draw near, for sadder tidings never touched thy ear. Thy eyes have witnessed what a fatal turn, how Ilion triumphs and the Achaeans mourn. This is not all, Patroclus on the shore, now pale and dead, shall succour Greece no more. Fly to the fleet this instant, fly and tell the sad Achilles how his loved one fell. He too may haste the naked course to gain. The arms are Hector's who despoiled the slain. The youthful warrior heard with silent woe, from his fair eyes the tears began to flow. Big with the mighty grief he strove to say what sorrow dictates, but no word found way. To brave Laodocus his arms he flung, who near him wheeling drove his steeds along. Then ran the mournful message to impart, with tearful eyes and with dejected heart. Swift fled the youth, nor Menelaus stands, though sore distressed, to aid the Pylian bands, but bids bold Thrasimede those troops sustain, himself returns to his Patroclus slain. Gone is Antilochus, the hero said, but hope not warriors for Achilles' aid. Though fierce his rage, unbounded be his woe, unarmed he fights not with the Trojan foe. 'Tis in our hands alone our hopes remain, 'tis our own vigour must the dead regain, and save ourselves while with impetuous hate Troy pours along, and this way rolls our fate. 'Tis well, said Ajax, be it then thy care, with Merion's aid the weighty course to rear. Myself and my bold brother will sustain the shock of Hector and his charging train. Nor fear we armies fighting side by side. What Troy can dare we have already tried. Have tried it and have stood, the hero said. High from the ground the warriors heave the dead. A general clamour rises at the sight. Loud shout the Trojans and renew the fight. Not fiercer rush along the gloomy wood, with rage insatiate and with thirst of blood. Voracious hounds that many a length before their furious hunters drive the wounded boar. But if the savage turns his glaring eye, they howl aloof and round the forest fly. Thus on retreating Greece the Trojans pour, wave their thick falchions and their javelins shower. But Ajax turning to their fears they yield, all pale they tremble and forsake the field. While thus aloft the heroes' course they bear, behind them rages all the storm of war. Confusion, tumult, horror o'er the throng of men, steeds, chariots urge the rout along. Less fierce the winds with rising flames conspire to whelm some city under waves of fire. Now sink in gloomy clouds the proud abodes, Now crack the blazing temples of the gods. The rumbling torrent through the ruin rolls, and sheets of smoke mount heavy to the poles. The heroes sweat beneath their honoured load, as when two mules along the rugged road, from the steep mountain with exerted strength, drag some vast beam or mast's unwieldy length. Inly they groan, big drops of sweat distil, the enormous timber lumbering down the hill. So these behind the bulk of Ajax stands, and breaks the torrent of the rushing bands. Thus when a river swelled with sudden rains spreads his broad waters o'er the level plains, some interposing hill the stream divides, and breaks its force and turns the winding tides. Still close they follow, close the rear engage. Aeneas storms and Hector foams with rage, while Greece a heavy thick retreat maintains, wedged in one body like a flight of cranes. That shriek incessant while the falcon hung, high on poised pinions threats their callow young. So from the Trojan chiefs the Grecians fly, such the wild terror and the mingled cry. Within, without the trench and all the way, strode in bright heaps their arms and armour lay. Such horror Jove impressed, yet still proceeds, the work of death, and still the battle bleeds. And with that we come to the second of the Iliad book groupings, and we're going to do a little bit of time reversal before we do anything further, because I think what I want to do next is collect some more gold coins and do a little bit of a wander generally. So we are going to need more time available in order to do that, so we're going to need to reverse time 2, maybe 3 times in order to do that, I reckon, reasonably. To be honest, I don't think we need to go all the way back to the earliest we can possibly get. I reckon we can make a pretty good dent in it anyway. Even with that being said, because we've managed to go 10 pages back, if we can get more than 10, that'll be great. We might be able to get all the way back in the next one. So let's give it a go. Make a fire, make a blue fire, and then sit down and read. And go. Yum. We might be able to get all the way back to the earliest we can get to, with the number of days remaining, that is. Not 100% sure. Actually, yeah, we'll almost certainly be able to do it. Might be a bit closer than I think. Especially because my finger is getting a bit tired. Ooh, we might not make it. No, I don't think we're going to make it. Ooh. Made it. Just about made it in time. Haha. Well, that does actually bring us quite nicely... Oh, the chair disappeared. Briefly. That does actually bring us quite nicely to the end of this episode anyway, so... yeah, tomorrow we're going to have a bit of a wander, go and get some gold coins. I would like to collect as many gold coins as possible. I know there's probably nothing to do with it, but oh well. I want to do it. See how far we can get. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.